Stay down.
Hey Ren, when were we going to start making that Kickstarter update video?
Kickstarter update video? Well, how about right now? Alright, hello, my name is Michael Mars, otherwise known as Renwood, and I'm the executive producer and project manager of Real-Time Games.
My name is Michael Finley, otherwise known as Ooga Booga, and I'm the creative director, and I do all the little things in the engine, pretty much anything you can name.
My name's Jesse Giles, aka Road. I am the art design director, working on the models.
I was already hanging out with Uga, and then I was helping you Heroes of Co-op do testing.
Oh, we started playing together, and then we started being, you're doing Heroes of Co-op, and I was giving you suggestions, and then you were teaching me how to do Amber stuff. You taught me how to do the graphic stuff, and then you eventually kind of put it down, and I carried the torch, and I was the...
Took over very much.
Yeah, no offense, dude, don't mean to steal your thunder, but, you showed it to me. It's your fault.
Yeah.
But, no, I just took to it like a fish to water. Like, I loved putting new graphics in the game. It was so... When he showed me how easy it was, I was like, no way.
That's when the student became the master.
Yeah. We kind of, like, just had this moment where, like, Rhode's like, I guess I'll just let you do the Amber stuff. Amber was the program not included in the game that people who loved Myth made so you could put new units and images and, characters and stuff.
Yeah, third-party program to organize the flow of the characters, all the sprites, putting them all together to actually create the fluid motion that you create a unit with, and then bring it directly into the game. Yeah, I was pretty much happy. I'd play games every now and then just to keep in touch with the community, but mostly, I believe when I was meeting most of the people, I was already working on Heroes of Co-op, which had a pretty good fan base for being in a beta stage. And like I think I mentioned before, I pretty much made Heroes of Co-op as my own plugin. I didn't really expect it to be popular at all, but it definitely was. I knew of Ooga Booga as Ooga Booga.
Ooga Booga. It's not
it's ooh. One of the characters in Night Before Christmas. No.
You just say Ooga.
Yeah,
it's
Ooga,
so much easier.
Ooga was definitely another, what were they called? Third-party developers making mods, and I'd seen some of his work. I realized after watching a lot of other people do their own things, because mostly I was trying to be a jack of all trades, trying to do everything, trying to add new units, trying to do all the maps, trying to do all the programming all myself.
Adding sounds and all sorts of polish.
Everything for just one man is really too much to handle. I see a lot of people doing it. They're still working on their projects. They're not getting the project done. And by the time they actually get close, a new update's coming, new things are happening, they decide to go with it, and then another year later they're still not done with their project. So I knew immediately that I wanted to work on a team. So when I first met Ooga Booga, he was helping me beta test. He wanted to get involved, and it became our project. It was no longer my project. So I showed him how I did the Amber, because he was really curious about that aspect. I knew he already knew a lot about it, and he was a mod maker. Took to it, soaked it up like a sponge, and I pretty much let him continue doing that aspect, and it relieved me of doing that. I found out he was excellent at making effects, so that relieved me quite a bit. And
I love making special effects. I love making things pretty.
Yeah, especially the vortex. That was just awesome. You did that, right?
Yeah. Which vortex? There's been a couple.
It's only a negative explosion that doesn't do any damage. Come on.
Some of them do damage. The Scaramander one.
What we want people to know with what we're doing with this project and with what we're going to do with the funding, if we're successful, is we're going to be making a game that we've always dreamed of making. We've actually been making it for years. We just haven't been getting paid for it and all. because we love giving away stuff for free to people, but you know, food is good and
housing is nice.
Housing is nice. So if we could, you know, a lot of us. I'm currently working full time on this project. I have been for several months. As is Uga. Road works part time on the project, and he would love to be able to work on it full time. This isn't the only people that currently work with real-time games. We also have other people that are volunteers that donate their time whenever they can. Most of them have jobs. Some of them are quite happy in their jobs and will work with us as freelancers. Other ones would like to be able to work full-time because we have an actual budget. And we've all been working together for years already, so there's not this, you know, question of whether we can do it at all. It's just, will we have the chance to do it in a professional manner, because there's a large budget, and then we could really make a game that Bungie would be proud of and would meet and exceed a lot of their original goals with the series.
It all hinges on whether or not we get the license. If there's no license, there's no game. So everyone gets refunded. The only factor that I can see that could make this project not work is apathy. Because you definitely have the skills necessary to do this. You've got the vetted developers. I cannot say how vetted we are. I mean, it's from 1997 is when Myth 1 came out. And before Myth 2 came out, I was already downloading all these tools to figure out how to edit the game. So it's 2012, and I'm one of the last, and we are some of the last remaining gurus of the Myth engine that know it inside and out, know the gameplay, know what attracts people to it, and know how to recreate it.
No, that was beautiful.
No, I know, but we're all doing we're all doing a similar piece.
Yeah, a lot of what Kickstarter would help us do is have the opportunity to spend more time on the project and have the resources available to us that will make it a lot better, faster. I have no doubt that we could make it a lot better, but it would definitely speed up the progress. It'll allow an opportunity for other people to be involved where they are currently helping, but maybe add a little more to the project. It would definitely give me an opportunity to provide more time as far as the figures go and animation. Because we are doing it mostly for everybody. It's not just us, you know, we're quite happy doing what we're doing, but in order for us to get it out there and have other people enjoy our work, it would definitely help quite a bit.
I can't stress enough to anybody who's a fan of Myth, we're definitely not trying to change the Myth that you know and love. Okay, we're actually trying to keep the gameplay quite similar to Myth 2 as far as unit mechanics and physics and everything. Things will be streamlined. There will be a smarter guarding system. There will be a smarter unit AI. But what we don't want to do is take away the fact that people who are good at micromanaging units can excel, where people who, say, just throw their units in a blob at you and attack will not. What we want to do is keep that level of strategy and personal tactics alive in Myth.
I remember when we were first making projects, we'd come up with some crazy stuff.
Remember Undead Legions?
Yeah, well, that was like the primary one where we'd come up with an effect and we'd kind of get close to the effect, and then we'd modify something and go to test it, and it did something completely different than we expected.
Casualties.
And that's really, I mean, we started saving some of those effects because they were actually...
Well, there's a lot of people out there that have an idea, and there's a lot of people out there that have kind of messed with the game and kind of know how to mod it, but we've actually got a lot of content already ready to go. We're sitting on, you know, a bunch of high-definition graphical resources, you know, particle effects, scenery, ambient life. A lot of things that give us confidence that we could do this is our entire goal has been to find out the limits of what Myth can and can't do. If we had an idea and it sounded like Myth couldn't do it, we would find a way to do it. We would use things to simulate it happening visually. or we would just find some way to use
Trickery.
trickery, basically in the engine, trick the engine into doing what we want, having it not glitchy or be able to be exploited. We're very good at figuring out how to stop that. We definitely want people to be able to experiment with all the cool stuff, because we're going to have a lot of fun building stuff for you to play with. And I honestly haven't had as much fun in my entire life as I had making all these characters and attacks and balancing them and polishing them and adding these awesome effects to them. It's really just been a joy to do this whole thing. So it would just, to me, it would seem like a waste if nobody paid us to do it. We've been doing some amazing stuff for no money. Imagine what we could do with a budget. We love making visually solid things, you know. We've got this map, and it's just a luscious green landscape with rolling hills and a river between it, and it's just, half of the fun is making everything look great. We plan to release on Mac, PC, and Linux. They're supported natively, and they're going to have simultaneous updates, so no one platform is left behind, and everything, you know, everyone can play together on the same version, no matter what platform they're on.
Alright, well thanks for taking the time to watch our Kickstarter update video. We hope we answered some questions that people had and that you learned something and had fun watching it. And thanks for taking the time, and we hope that you back our project. Rod, what are you doing?
Drawing a roll.